on this issue. Before we come to the politician Sanjay Hegde, is it a storm in a teacup? Give us the constitutional position. Article 1, subsection 1 says India, that is Bharat. Do you believe, therefore, that we need to in any way get into this debate in the first instance? You can use India, you can use Bharat.
You see, when the constitution was drafted, it was drafted for a country which had suffered a partition. It was a deeply divided society. Our constitution, as has often been pointed out, is a compromise document signed by very great men, depending on the violence of that time. So we came out saying that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. Various states acceded to the Indian Union, and it was a quasi-federation that came up. Both names have continued. If both names continue, there is no problem. It is if you seek to efface one name or the other. Now let's turn this around. Supposing there was a government which said that we shall from now on be called only India. Bharat is lost. If they wanted to do that, they would have to amend the constitution. Similarly, if you want to say that it will be only Bharat from now on, then to efface the name of India, you would have to amend the constitution. You would have to say there will be a Supreme Court of Bharat. You will have to say that there will be a president of Bharat. There will be a comptroller and auditor general of Bharat. So all those places, amendments would be required.
So, okay, so you're saying that if only one name is to remain, then you will have to bring in all these dramatic changes. Let me turn to you, Sanju Verma. Is this a weapon of mass distraction? You see, it almost seems as if the BJP wants every day some item to set the news cycle. The latest is Bharat versus India. Many will say this is a false binary. Most Indians are proud Indians and Bharatiyas. I certainly am. I feel strongly about my being an Indian citizen, and I'm proud about being part of a country called Bharat. Why is the BJP trying to create these tangles and thereby only end up creating more confusion?
Okay. Rajdeep, I have a bit of a grouse with you. You give proper introductions to everybody. It is Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP.
National.
If you can say that.
Indian,
yes,
national,
thank you so much.
Indian or Bharatiya? National, Indian or Bharatiya?
Bharatiya, national, Indian, they're all interchangeable.
Okay, good.
Today, I'm not going to get into a tangle with you, since you said that at the start of the debate. I just have this to say, Rajdeep. This is a rather interesting debate. Rather than getting caught up in binaries of Bharat versus India, I just have this to say that, as Sanjay Hegde said, first and foremost, constitutionally, under Article 1 of the Constitution, it clearly mentions India, that is Bharat. But if you read the Hindi Samvidhan, as in Constitution, it says Bharat Arthat India. Point number 2, we've had changes. Bombay became Mumbai, but Bombay High Court is what it is still called. Madras became Chennai, but Madras High Court is what it is still called. Allahabad became Prayagraj, but Allahabad High Court is what it is still called. So let us not box ourselves into thinking that this will create confusion. We are able to live with many binaries, to borrow your phrase. Point number 3, I am rather amused by the statements of Shashi Tharoor, statements of K.C. Venugopal, statements from RJD leader Manoj Jha, and just about anybody from the Congress, including Jairam Ramesh, who's the nanny of Rahul Gandhi. What I fail to understand is Congress के पेट में इतना दर्द क्यों हो रहा है? After all, after every success, the army very joyously says Bharat Mata ki Jai. जब हमको भी कुछ सेलिब्रेट करना होता है, I don't know about the Congress, but मैं तो कहती हूँ भारत माता की जय, and very proudly at that. If you see our national anthem, Janagana Mana Adhinayak Jaya Hai Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. There also you have the term Bharat. And now coming to the moot point of the argument. I think India and Bharat are both interchangeable. We don't need to replace one with the other. And indeed, if an amendment has to come, that will be done via Article 368 to amend Article 1 of the Constitution. But at this point, the government or the BJP officially has not suggested anything to that effect.
Okay.
The most important point, just give me 30 seconds, more, please.
Okay.
I just have this to say very quickly. The meat of the argument is this. The term Bharat has existed since more than 5,000 years and beyond. It found mention in Rig Veda, which says that Bharat is the progenitor of civilization, and Bharatas as a tribe were the ancestors of the Kauravas and Pandavas. The Bhagavad Gita says Bharata means somebody who's the conqueror and emperor of the world, and the Puranas say Bharat is the entire land mass north of the ocean and south of the snowy mountains, as in Himalayas. But the best definition is given in the Ramayana, which says that Bharata epitomizes everything that dharma is all about.
I'll come to the history, ma'am. I've got the history, but your time is up. Your time is up, ma'am. You've crossed your 30 seconds. Your time is up. Supriya Srinen, one of the arguments that Sanju Verma and others from the BJP are making, why is the Congress and the opposition getting so hot under the collar? The fact is, according to Sanju Verma, the BJP has not made any official, or the Modi government has not officially suggested they want to change the name of the country. Both the names, according to Sanju Verma, in this program are interchangeable. So is this a storm in a teacup, and is the Congress and the opposition adding to it by suggesting some conspiracy theory?
So 3 minutes 45 seconds uninterrupted. I hope the same courtesy will be offered to me by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me first base my arguments on 3 pillars. Pillar number 1, this is nothing but a rattled BJP running for cover after having spent millions of dollars in getting up a G20, China and Russia, the big leaders, their big heads of state giving it a miss. No track has reached consensus yet. There is no consensus of a joint communique. And so let's have a weapon of mass distraction. Let's talk about something like this. That's point number 1. Point number 2, and this is a very important point. We name our alliance India, and the Prime Minister goes on record to compare the name of my motherland and your motherland and his own motherland with that of slavery, which is East India Company, and a terror organization, Indian Mujahideen. He does not look the other way. He sheepishly also calls us.
Please keep your voice down. Sanju Verma, you will not intervene.
नाम कौन बिगाड़ता है भाई? मुझे सिर्फ ये बताइए, अपनी माँ का नाम कौन बिगाड़ता है? Forget about that. Now let's come to India. There is never a debate. Our constitution, Article 1, rightly pointed out, gives us both those identities. And guess what? Why do I say this is a desperate BJP trying to shift the narrative and trying to build a headline? Because the BJP doesn't have a 2/3 majority in the Rajya Sabha to amend the constitution. This will require amendment of the constitution. So this is just one more hot air balloon like the CAA, where the rules have not been notified, or the UCC, or anything else like that, which they keep floating these hot air balloons for. I will only end my argument by saying one simple thing. You call it India or you call it Bharat. Unemployment is the big crisis, no matter what we call our country. People reeling under high back-breaking prices, big problem. Income inequality, big problem. Manipur, big problem. Call it India, call you Bharat. And guess what? The biggest problem is the Adani scam, from which they want to shift the focus. It happens in India, it happens in Bharat. No matter what you call my motherland, I will love it with passion that you can never think about.
Okay,
because we fought the war for Indian independence, और हमने भारत की स्वाधीनता का संग्राम भी लड़ा, जो दोनों काम आप नहीं कर पाए. So don't shift narratives.
Supriya Srinen,
don't float hot air
while you are
balloons.
claiming that the BJP is trying to shift narratives, ma'am, just a minute.
G20 failure.
Ma'am, can I just ask you, is your India Alliance planning to change its name as a result? Will you remain India Alliance, or are you also, in a way, now going to think twice? Do I make it Bharat or India?
You know, I want to just lighten the mood a little. Maybe we should try the name Modi. Apna naam hi badal lenge Pradhan Mantri ji. If we name ourselves that, maybe he will go on to change the name. The reality, Rajdeep, is that no matter what you call India, Bharat, Hindustan, Sarzami, Vatan, Matrabhumi, our heart still beats for India. It beats for the 140 crore people. I will say one final time, 1.6 billion people, 160 crore log between China and Russia have given the G20 a miss. This is nothing but a desperate government running for cover to justify the pomp and show, the 24/7 commentary,
Okay.
the lockdown that Delhi is brought into by shifting focus on something like this.
Interesting that is how the Congress is reading this. Mr. Saravanan, DMK,
Yes.
how are you all reading it? Are you seeing this as an assault on the South in some way? That the South must have the right to decide how it looks at India?
See, Rajdeep, the BJP RSS ecosystem is paralyzed with fear because of the unity of the opposition in the India alliance. They somehow want to rattle it. Madam Supriya clearly pointed out on the day when when the India alliance was about to happen, they said we are going to have a special parliamentary session. The next day, they were speaking about that we are going to bring one nation, one election. That is the rumor floated, and every news channel was debating that. And in the morning, the former president was appointed as the one-man committee to go into this one nation, one election thing, and we all debated that. And suddenly now, today, they want to change the narrative. We don't know why they want to change the narrative. Probably because
No, is the DMK comfortable with any change? If there was to be a name change, would you support it?
No. So we will come to it. We will cross the bridge when we come near the bridge. The only thing is this: you don't know, I don't know. The BJP spokesperson does not know whether they will bring in any amendment. This is a waste of time. Arguing whether the name should be India or Bharat, whether the BJP will do it or not is a waste of time, and that is what the BJP wants us to do. Waste our time instead of speaking about the problems of the common man. Will it reduce the gas price? Whatever name it may be. Will it reduce the petrol price? Will it ensure that there will be no violence in Manipur? Will it ensure that there is justice for everybody in this
Okay.
country? Nothing
No,
will
you have to
change.
listen patiently. Supriya,
Yeah, nothing. Yes.
Miss Sanju Verma, they listen to you, you will listen to them. Please put a voice down. You will listen to them. They listen to you for 3 minutes, 40 seconds without interruption. Mr. Saravanan, final point, 30 seconds.
Yes. Our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister, has said that the BJP promised to transform India. What they were able to do? They were only able to change the name. If at all it happens, I don't think it will happen. In the 5 days, everything is a jumla for them.
Okay.
They are scared. They are utterly terrified of the India alliance.
Okay, 1 minute. Now, let's look at the history of names in India. This is a great civilization, and I want to give our viewers a sense of history and then come back to our guests. Let me tell you, we as a civilization, remember, go back to the Indus Valley and beyond. One of the oldest civilizations of the world. And over the years, this subcontinent has been known by many names. The region was called Meluha around 3000 BC. The name appears in ancient Mesopotamian texts. Then it, of course, was referred to as, in our school textbooks, we learned, the Indus Valley civilization. But this name went out of vogue with the decline of that civilization. Bharat or Bharata or Bharatvarsha, it appears in the Puranas. This refers to the land mass between the sea in the south and the abode of snow in the north. Aryavarta appears in the contentious Manusmriti. This name, as it implies, refers to the land occupied by Indo-Aryans. And then Jambu Dvipa appears in Vedic texts. This was a common name used. Jambu Dvip appears in Vedic texts, and it is still used in some Southeast Asian countries to describe the subcontinent. Hind, the word was first used by Persians around 700 BC. It refers to the land across the river Sindhu. Incidentally, Hindustan is how the territory held by the Mughals during their rule was known to the world. Indus or India was first used by the Greeks around 300 BC. They transliterated Hind as Indus. This is roughly the period around which Alexander the Great comes to India. The British gradually stopped using Hindustan and started using India as they displaced the Mughals. So as you can see, we've had a long history in this country, and today we have reached a stage, 76 years after independence, where we are debating between India and Bharat. Sanjay Hegde, as I recounted that history, and I unfortunately don't have a historian on the panel, do you also believe, as the politicians seem to suggest, or certainly the opposition, that this is a distraction from core issues? Do you believe that historically and constitutionally, we are now very comfortable with what you called a compromise in 1948?
Well, this is a comfortable fit. We are multicultural, multilingual. When we talk in Indian languages, we say Bharat. When we talk in English, we say India. It's like that. Now, to define one in opposition to the other is to tear ourselves apart. I can speak English, I can speak Hindi, I can speak Kannada, I can speak many languages. Now, you will not tell me in what language, which word I will be officially using. Okay, in your communications, you can describe yourself as anything. But constitutionally, we made a choice in 1948, 1949 to be precise. If we are to change that choice, that also has to be done constitutionally. And constitutional amendments are sacred things. They are not just rammed down people's throats. They are not mere executive actions which you get up in the morning and you pass a notification and that's it. Yes, what really is happening is a cultural revolution. We are being told that one culture is superior to the other, that if you are not following one culture, then you are somewhat of a lesser Indian. This is a cultural war which is really coming.
Okay,
and that the politicians really need to be aware of. It sounds differently in North India, it sounds differently in South India.
Let me bring in Sanju Verma again. Sanju Verma, is this a cultural war? Is that the way to look at it? That there is, as Mohan Bhagwat says, a civilizational argument that the BJP is trying to make, believing that India is a colonial word. Therefore, we should be more comfortable by using the word India, by using the word Bharat. Is that what this is about? And at a time where the BJP wants to push the idea that they represent cultural, civilizational authenticity.
Rajdeep, on your debate, both the people from the ... alliance spoke on everything but the topic. There was a mention of inflation, there was a mention of unemployment, there was a mention of Adani. So I will answer your question, but as the national spokesperson of BJP, it is only right and only fair that I rebut what the opposition panelists said. First and foremost, the BJP reduced excise on petrol and diesel by 5 and 10 rupees in November 2021 and by 8 and 6 rupees in May 2022. For the longest time, Rajasthan refused to reduce value-added tax on petrol and diesel. In the latest numbers of inflation announced in July 2023, the highest inflation was in Rajasthan at 9.7%. The highest rural inflation was also in Congress-ruled Rajasthan at 9.9%. The highest urban inflation was also in Congress-ruled Rajasthan at 10.4%. The highest unemployment at 26.35%. The credit also goes to Rajasthan. If there is the new rape capital of India with 6,000 rapes in a year, the credit again goes to Congress-ruled Rajasthan. So the Congress panelists here, यहाँ बैठकर मोदी सरकार को भाषण देना बंद करो. Now I will answer your question. Now I will answer your question. Please shut up. I did not tell you.
No. Ma'am, this shut up word has to stop on my show. There must be ways in which we talk to people. We are all civilized Indians. You all talk about civilization and then we use word like shut up. So let's avoid that word. You answer my question. Is this a cultural civilizational war? Simple question, simple answer I want. Without using word like shut up, please.
Rajdeep, please, I did not want to...
no, please don't use these words.
Can I please now make my point?
Please do.
Rajdeep Sardesai, I am glad you took offense to the word shut up. I wish you had shown 1/10 of that outrage when Pappu aka Rahul Gandhi went around town saying Chaukidar chor hai despite being castigated by the Supreme Court, and even recently the Supreme Court said while staying his conviction that his public utterances are in poor taste. So if there is anybody who needs lessons
you are not, can you just answer my question? I'm losing time. Please answer my direct question. I'm giving you 30 seconds.
Yes. No, give me 45 seconds because you've got two people from the opposition and you have Sanjay Hegde, who's also known to be a Modi naysayer. So please be fair, Rajdeep. I don't want this into a Rajdeep versus Sanju Verma, Tom versus Jerry kind of a show. And that is said on a lighter note. Okay. I just have this to say. Have you noticed, Rajdeep? I don't know why you're shaking your head, but anyway, I just have this to say. Do you remember when we changed the name of 7 Racecourse Road to Lok Kalyan Marg? The Congress was up in arms. When the name of Rajpath was changed to Kartavya Path, the Congress was up in arms. Inke pet mein dard ho gaya. When we said that the INS Vikrant's new insignia will be that of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Congress ke pet mein dard ho gaya. When we said that Aurangzeb Road will now be known as APJ Abdul Kalam Marg, Congress ke pet mein dard ho gaya. When we said that the PM Museum and Memorial will now be named, and it will replace what was earlier called as the Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Museum and Library, Congress ke pet mein dard ho gaya. They can name Chandrayaan 1's landing point as Jawahar Point, but when we said that Chandrayaan 2 ka landing point will be Tiranga and Chandrayaan 3's landing point will be Shiv Shakti, Congress ke pet mein dard ho gaya. The point is that instead of asking questions to the BJP, which takes pride in our civilizational ethos, in our religious heritage, in our traditional legacy, do we need lessons from the Congress, where Sonia Gandhi got married in 1968 and it took her 15 years to get Indian citizenship? In 1983, she refused to even take Indian citizenship for 1.5 decades. And my last but not the least, I want to ask the Congress panelists here. You keep saying Rahul Gandhi has educated himself from Cambridge, from Harvard. The Cambridge certificate says Rahul Vinci. So tell me on national television, is Rahul Vinci equal to Rahul Gandhi? Is Antonia Albina Minor equal to Sonia Gandhi?
I have not seen any such Rahul. One minute.
You don't even want to acknowledge Sonia was Antonia.
Ma'am, we must be very clear with our facts.
You don't want to acknowledge Rahul Gandhi was
Okay, you made your point, producer. When you make personal points of the kind that you have, we should be careful with our facts. The use of the word Rahul Vinci in particular is something which is not proven at the moment, so we should be careful. But Supriya Shrinet, kindly please respond to what you're hearing, that the BJP says, look, we are changing names. We've changed Aurangzeb Road to APJ Abdul Kalam. This could be part of that name change. They're saying very clearly, we are not at this moment saying that we will make it Bharat. But if we do tomorrow, what's the harm?
Some extremely crass and personal statements were made here, and I hope you will keep the fader down so that I can clarify and bring truth to light. The reality is that the BJP has lunacy permeating it so deeply that each one of them sounds lunatic. Each one of them, from the top to the bottom, is lunatic, and they are absolutely running helter-skelter. That's point number one I want to make. Rahul Gandhi has got all his degrees in the name of Rahul Gandhi. His name was kept incognito because his father had been assassinated and his life wasn't safe on a campus that he was. They have not been educated, so they don't understand those things. You should never get personal, and I hate to get personal, but आप तो अपनी डिग्री ही दिखा दीजिए. एंटायर पॉलिटिकल साइंस की डिग्री, वो डिग्री दिखाइए जिसमें माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का वो फॉन्ट है जो अभी 90s में आया है, 70 में मोदी जी दिखाते हैं. And don't talk about people and their marriages. Abandoning your newly wedded wife is not Indian or Bharatiya culture. So don't drag the debate down to a level where I get into Jhasaram and Pheku and you call my leader names. Don't do that. I will only say one thing. Their obsession of changing names has now gone from roads and चौराहा और गली नुक्कड़ का नाम बदलते बदलते अब ये देश की बात कर रहे हैं. This is nothing, Rajdeep. This is only a cloak to somehow shift focus away from the diplomatic failure that is staring into their faces. Since 1999, there has never been an instance where two big economies like Russia and China give the G20 a miss. Together between them, 1.6 billion people. I also want to make a very small
there have been G20s where major, there have been G20s where 3 or 4 leaders have not come.
Let me make this point.
Ma'am, I want you to be very clear.
Let me finish my point. Never two big economies.
In
never two big
2022,
economies
in
like China
2022 in
and Russia,
Bali,
1.6 billion people
Brazil,
together.
Mexico,
I am
Russia were
making
not
a
there.
point.
In 2021 in Rome, Italy, China, Japan, Mexico, Russia,
Rajdeep,
Saudi Arabia and South Africa were not
Rajdeep.
there. That was during COVID time. So let's be, I'm going to
Rajdeep.
fact check both.
You have to hear me out.
Yes.
No, what did I say? Don't refute me on facts because I come prepared with facts as my ammunition and not crass talk. I said two major economies like Russia and China with 1.6
2021
billion
also.
people between them. You stand corrected and so does the BJP.
2021
I will make
happened in
just
2021.
one point here. कोई binary है ही नहीं. हमने तो भारत को जोड़ा और हम अब इंडिया को जिताएंगे. The problem is भारत जोड़ो भी हमने किया और इंडिया को जिताएंगे भी हम. तो इनके पास बचा क्या है? इनके पास बचे हैं टीवी डिबेट्स में बेकार की बातें करना और इनके पास बचा है नाम बदलने के शगुफे छोड़ना. This is nothing but a hot air balloon because they jolly well know they don't have the 2/3 majority in Rajya Sabha to amend the constitution. This is nothing but weapon of mass distraction to take the issue away from high prices, to take the issue away from unemployment, from income inequality, and from Adani. That is their reality.
Okay, let me leave it there. As we said, we've heard two different views. One saying this is part of a cultural renaissance in a way. The other saying it's a weapon of mass distraction. We've heard two very clear points of view. At the end of the day, since we were referred to as Tom and Jerry, I am neither Tom or Jerry. My name is Rajdeep and I'm not intending to change my name for a very long time.
Rajdeep,
But Rahul Gandhi's Rahul Vinci.
Rajdeep, let me answer.
Rahul Gandhi's
Let me
Rahul
answer. I've
Vinci
got a
and
point to make.
Sonia Gandhi's
Arre-
Antonia Minor.
Yeah.
Sonia
Why are
Gandhi's
we, what is
Antonia
this obsession?
Minor.
What is
And
this
Rahul
obsession
Gandhi's
by...
Rahul Vinci.
Deserve to be on national
There is no
That's the
certificate
problem.
in the name of Rahul.
Okay,
Gandhi.
put the two ladies further down. Poor Mr. Sarvanan, 30 seconds. Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Sarvanan,
yes,
before the South says we are
Yes.
being discriminated.
Rajdeep, the most important question that needs to be answered now. Of course, we
Yes,
can
go ahead,
continue
quickly,
talk. Yes,
quickly.
we can talk about petrol price rise, gas prices, everything and go on. But today, now, why this special parliamentary session has been called for? Will the BJP answer? Why so much of opacity? Why are they scared? What are they scared of? If tomorrow some other issue comes up, Rajdeep, tomorrow they will say, oh, Mr. Rajdeep, you have refused to change your name. So don't conduct any shows in English. Conduct shows in Hindi because it shows your culture. Don't wear pants. Don't wear coats. Wear a dhoti. Speak in Hindi. Tomorrow it may be a diktat. The BJP, everybody will call this as a master stroke. Oh, this is a master stroke. Modi ji is promoting our culture, our Hindi culture.
Don't
this
worry.
This is how bad it is.
Okay,
This
you
is
made,
a way-
Mr. Sarvanan,
the way
Mr.
the
Sarvanan,
BJP will
you
act.
made your point. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. We've heard all sides, and that's the aim of this show. We give everyone equal time, and that's why we believe on prime time we make the effort to sift through the noise to bring you the news. And I'll tell you as I end and thank my panelists what the news is. While we are screaming about names and will our name of the country be changed, the real issue is simply this. This monsoon season, large parts of the country are reeling with deficient rainfall. Some are staring at drought. Among those states is Karnataka. Yesterday we focused on BJP-ruled Madhya Pradesh. Today we focus on Karnataka because nature does not know of political parties. It only knows where to get rain and where not. 62 taluks of Karnataka are now declared drought hit. A political slugfest typically has erupted, with the opposition BJP launching a scathing attack on the Siddaramaiah government, claiming that farmer concerns are not being prioritized. What's the situation on the ground? Let's focus on what I believe is Get Real India, Karnataka's drought crisis.
Farmers in Karnataka are in distress. The state has seen a 27% deficit in rains this year. The Siddaramaiah government has declared 62 talukas as drought affected and decided to conduct a survey on crop loss in 137 talukas. This farmer in Koppal district has destroyed his crop after rains failed him.
$25,000 ಖರ್ಚಾಗೈತಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗೇನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹರಗಾಕತ್ತೀವಿ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಳೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ,
ಆಗಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಮಳೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಆಗಾಗಲ್ಲ.
ಈಗ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು
ಇದು ಒಂದು 20 ದಿನ 25 ದಿನದಿಂದ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆಕತ್ತದು,
ಮಳೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ
ಆಕತ್ತು.
The state government says it will provide farmers the needed help.
Our government is in a comfortable position. We do agree there is a huge burden on the government exchequer by virtue of our guarantees. But Honorable CM is capable of handling all these financial situations. Still, our revenue department is monitoring the day-to-day situation. Every situation is being monitored. And they are ready to announce the drought taluks as and when it is required. And they've already done, the subcommittee is already working on that.
While Karnataka grapples with farm and financial distress, a political storm is brewing over Siddaramaiah government's proposal to start its own airline.
Now we have started operating our own airports, like Shimoga, and tomorrow Bijapur and all this. Earlier we used to give to airport authority of India. It was our asset. Spending thousands of crores we given to them. We didn't have any say there. Neither we didn't have any returns on their revenue from them. And again we have to give maintenance to them. So that we decided that we should have a state-run airports.
Accusing the Congress government of misplaced priorities, the BJP has called the government's plan senseless.
It is a senseless decision by the Industries Minister, Mr. M.B. Patil. He does not know the industry's intricacies. The investment required is very huge. The state is reeling under drought. Power shortage is looming large. Under such circumstances, they should focus on the development.
While the farm crisis remains unaddressed, the political slugfest has begun in the state. With Sagar Raj, Bureau Report, India Today.
And I promise you, over the next few days, we will continue to focus on ground reports from different parts of the country on the drought situation, because those are the real issues that should concern the people of this country. Otherwise, I'm very happy to be called, as I said, Indian and Bharatiya. Let's take a break. When we return, Team India, or should I now call it Team Bharat, as Virender Sehwag wants it called, for the ODI World Cup is announced. KL Rahul is back in the squad. The team from the Asia Cup is retained. Sunil Gavaskar will join me on the other side to find out what does he think of Team India. Back in a moment.
Air quality today. In Delhi, 137. In Mumbai, 83. In Kolkata, 42. In Bangalore, 33. In Chennai, 52. In Hyderabad, 52.
Okay, let's turn to the other big story. The countdown for World Cup 2023 has begun. India today announced its 15-member provisional squad. KL Rahul makes the cut despite being injured, while Yuzvendra Chahal, Ravichandran Ashwin and Sanju Samson are the prominent omissions. Rohit Sharma and team will start their World Cup campaign on 8th October against Australia. So that really means that more or less the team is the same as what is playing now in the Asia Cup. We'll play all the members as Sunil Gavaskar joins us. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Gavaskar. I believe you're wearing a 1983 t-shirt there. The last time, well, the time you won the World Cup. Can the Indian team of 2023, Mr. Gavaskar, do exactly what you and Kapil Dev's team did 40 years ago?
Yes, certainly. I think I have the confidence in this team. It's a very well-balanced team, plenty of batting depth, a lot of variety in the bowling. You've got quality all-rounders, and I think this team can go all the way, yes.
We will play all the members of the team on the screen in a moment. You're saying this team can go all the way. What is it that gives you that confidence? Because there are concerns already, as we are seeing some of them exposed in the match even against Nepal yesterday, then in the match against Pakistan. Do you also have any specific concerns about the quality of this Indian team as we play those names on the screen?
Not really. I think one-day cricket, will have its ups and downs. Sometimes a bowler will get hammered in the initial overs, or he will get hammered in the final overs. This is part of the game. But I do believe that, this team has the capability of bouncing back from whatever happens to it, whether it's in the batting. If there are early wickets, this team has the capability, as was shown against Pakistan, to bounce back and get a good score, a decent score. And similarly in the bowling as well, I do believe that we have the capability of bowling the opposition out and winning games.
But Mr. Gavaskar, one of the concerns is over KL Rahul in particular. Concerns over his fitness and to some extent his form. He's been injured and out of the game now for quite a while. Shreyas Iyer also coming back from a long injury. So is our leader of our bowling pack, Jasprit Bumrah. Will that be a concern going forward, that you've got far too many players who are coming like KL Rahul untested going into a big World Cup?
Well, they get another 10 days of cricket before the World Cup starts. And I think over there you will get an idea, because immediately after the Asia Cup finishes, there is a three-match series, one-day match series against the Australians. So you'll get to see their fitness. And also because the matches are being played in India, there is, you can have a replacement. I think the ICC has a technical committee which looks at, the requests for replacements in case of injuries. And because the matches are in India, I don't think that should be a concern at all, because the players chosen are the best. About KL Rahul, yes, he hasn't played for a while, but he's a quality player, a superb player in whether it's at number 1, 2, or number 5. And so, yes, I think there would be just a little concern. But as the days go on, we will be able to see how he has become.
The other controversy, Mr. Gavaskar, was sparked off by the fact that we've picked 3 left-arm spinners. One wrist spinner, yes, in Kuldeep Yadav, and then 2 left-armers in Jadeja, who was a certainty, and then Akshar Patel. Could we have instead picked an off-spinner like Ashwin or a leg spinner like Chahal? Are you okay that all our 3 frontline spinners are essentially left-armers?
Yes, it doesn't matter. I think if you have good bowlers, it doesn't matter whether they're right-handed or left-handed, or whether they bowl off spin, leg spin. I think these are all top-class bowlers. Akshar Patel's record in India has been absolutely outstanding. About Ravindra Jadeja, you can't question his ability at all. He's probably the best all-rounder in the game today, maybe along with Shakib Al Hasan, the best all-rounder in the game today. And Kuldeep Yadav brings a magic when he gets his line right. And now that he's bowling flatter and slightly quicker, he's that much more difficult to get after. So, yes, I think this is a good team. It doesn't matter whether it has 3 left-handed spinners.
But is there someone outside this team that you would have considered who you think is desperately unlikely? Is there anyone you would have chosen? Or do you believe that you will go along with all the 15 choices that selectors have made? Is it the perfect 15?
I think they've chosen the best 15. Yes, there are a couple of players, near misses as you call, but that's part of part of team selection. You can only have 15 because that's the ICC restriction, that you can only have a squad of 15. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of players who think that they missed out, but I think this is the best that the selectors could have chosen. Totally back this team.
But if I were to tell you, Mr. Gavaskar, that we are still, from an outsider's looking at the team, dependent heavily on the top three in batting, the Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, and then heavily again on Bumrah to be fully fit and ready to lead the pace bowling pack. Would I be right? Or am I undermining the contribution of many of these young talents, the Ishan Kishans, possible X factor like Hardik Pandya? Do you believe that we are ticking all the right boxes beyond the top three and Bumrah?
Yes, I think so. We saw that the other day against Pakistan, the way Ishan Kishan and Hardik Pandya, batted together to take the team to a good score. So I'm not too worried in case the top three fail. We still have batters who can take the team to a good score. There is Ravindra Jadeja down the order as well. He didn't get too many, but there was a very handy partnership of 37 with Hardik Pandya. Sometimes lower down the order, you don't get that many overs. And these 30-40 partnerships can be crucial in adding, substance to the total. And as far as the bowling is concerned, Shami, Siraj have shown that they are very, very good bowlers, wicket-taking bowlers. So it's not only dependent on Bumrah. Yes, I think Bumrah will be the kingpin, but I think Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj are not too far behind.
So are we in your book the favourites going into this tournament? Are we the favourites to win the World Cup that's being played at home after 12 years?
Yes, I think so. At home, always there's always the advantage of the crowd support, the knowledge of conditions, knowledge of what the pitch is going to be. So yes, I think India definitely are the favourites. But then there are 2 or 3 other teams equally good. So it is difficult to say that they are going to win, because cricket is a game which can change in a matter of overs, particularly the 50 overs game. England's a good team, Australia is a good team, Pakistan's a good team. These are all teams, that are pretty much in contention. And don't forget, New Zealand always under the radar, and they always seem to get into the semi-finals and finals of every, world event.
So what's then that one thing, Mr. Gavaskar, that you think holds the key? As you say, there are lots of competitive teams out there, very evenly matched, an open World Cup in many senses. What's the key that you think will decide who wins this World Cup?
I think keeping your temperament, keeping your cool in a crisis situation, particularly when it comes to the knockout games, the semi-finals and the finals. I think those are the games that test your temperament. That is where, that there is no next game. You have to win this game. And that is where I think temperament is going to be the key. So temperament is going to be the key, and also a little bit of luck. I keep saying that, 2019 in the World Cup, if the match had finished on day one itself, it might have had a different result. But the day two, when New Zealand were bowling, the conditions were overcast, suited their seam bowling, and that spelled trouble for our batters.
So what you're telling me, bit of luck, lots of talent that we hope exists. And remember, Mr. Gavaskar, we've not even mentioned Virat Kohli while we've been speaking. This could be his last World Cup. Some believe last World Cup also for Rohit Sharma. Does that put added pressure on players, or does that give them added motivation that this could be their last big chance?
Added motivation. Kohli, of course, has been part of a winning team in 2011, and he certainly would want to be part of another winning team. I don't think there are too many. He'll probably be then the only Indian player to have been part of 2 World Cup winning teams. I'm talking about the 50 overs World Cup winning teams. So that's great motivation for him. Not that he needs any motivation. When he pulls on the India cap, he, Rohit, all of them, they go out to try their best.
Final question, what's the thing you're looking forward to most in this World Cup? Every World Cup throws up something new. 5 to 6 weeks of great cricket await us next month. Anything specifically you're looking forward to?
Yes, I'm looking forward to some of the battles. Say, for example, between the Pakistani bowlers and the Australian batters, or the England batters. Of course, the India batters as well. I'm looking forward to our batters against, say, the England bowlers, the Australian bowlers. These are going to be some really interesting battles to look forward to. I'm looking forward to maybe one of the junior teams. I'm sorry if I call them junior teams, but some of the newer teams coming in and playing and giving an established team a little bit of a scare. So this is what I'm hoping for. And I'm hoping for pretty much last over finishes in just about every game.
Okay, just show us that shirt one last time, Sunny Bhai. Where did you pick up this new 1983 T-shirt? We haven't seen this one before. Please give us a slice of it.
Yes, I think this was given by a friend to all the 1983 team members, Abdul Qadir from, not the leg spinner, Abdul Qadir from Dubai. He made these shirts for all the team members at the 40th get-together, 40th anniversary get-together.
Well, you're looking very natty in it. Blue is the color of the day, and we hope that the men in blue will triumph. Well, what can one say? I think 40 years later, who knows, history could repeat and India could win that World Cup. Your confidence that we picked the best possible team. Thanks very much. Mr. Gavaskar, enjoy your day. Nice shirt, looking trendy as ever. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you decide, Team Bharat or Team India. That's a debate for another day. Let me leave you with our image of tonight, which is the Jawan. Shah Rukh Khan offering prayers at the Sri Venkateshwara Swami temple in Tirupati. Remember, his latest film, Jawan, is set to release on September 7th. His co-star is someone who's big in southern cinema. Shah Rukh sure knows how to press the right button. So, that's our image of the day. You stay well, my friends. Stay safe. Good night. Shubhratri. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat. Jai India. What's in a name? Bye for now.
Unwavering determination and a dream to represent India. Hailing from Kashmir's Kulgam district, 10-year-old specially abled Imad Nazir's love for cricket keeps him going. Imad draws his inspiration from Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but his own journey is an inspiration for many.
जब से मैंने क्रिकेट खेला है तब से मुझको महेंद्र सिंह धोनी फेवरेट प्लेयर है। मैं बॉलिंग भी करता हूँ, बैटिंग भी करता हूँ। मुझे डीसी साहब और एसएससी साहब ने मदद की। मैं आगे भी चाहता हूँ ऐसे मदद करे, मैं इंडिया का नाम रोशन करूँ।
Imad lost his mother when he was born. His father has been a constant support for him.
जो आपने ये वीडियो उठाया था वो वायरल हुआ और उसके ज़रिए फिर डीसी साहब या एसएसपी साहब ने वो वीडियो देख के इसकी बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प की।
Imad is chasing his dreams against all odds. Recently, a video of his love for cricket went viral.
तो मैं लोग अमिस क्रिकेट शौक कर अमिस गो बचपन पान पे शौक क्रिकेट मे करन किस पे खुश गस तिथ पे गिंद कोर सपोर्ट अमिस हसा कोर डीसी साहबन ती मदद अमिस हसा कोर एसपी साहबन ती मदद तो बह हसा छु शुक्रगुजार डीसी साहबस एसपी साहबस अमिस गस हमेशा गसुन इसे पठन।
बच्चे के हाथ में बैट आप देख सकते हैं।
PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti spotted the video and shared Imad's story on social media.
इस दुनिया से इनकी मां का इंतकाल हो गया।
Cheers are pouring in for this little cricket enthusiast's dream to represent his country. Bureau Report, India Today.
forecast now. Delhi, maximum 38 and minimum 28 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 26 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 31 and minimum 24 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 24 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 29 and minimum 26 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 29 and minimum 21 degrees.
Powered by Volkswagen. Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com. हर फैमिली होगी इंश्योर्ड.